When I've done these top 10 apps videos in the past, it's always been kind of separated. Paid apps or free apps, Roku apps, Apple TV apps, Fire TV apps, whatever. But then I thought, what if I combined all of that? What would happen then to my top 10? So I took a list of about 20 top streaming apps and whittled them down to my personal top 10, and I ranked them too. So now there's even more reason for you to yell at me in the comments, which I am definitely looking forward to. So let's dive in. Thanks for joining me today, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe if this video is fun, informative, helpful, entertaining, whatever. Would really appreciate that. All right, so let's go over some of the ground rules that I came up with for this list. I did this judging based on a few criteria: price, the presence of ads, the content available, and my own subjective experience. And that category is going to be kind of a catch-all for things like whether I like the interface, how many streams it provides, if the app tends to be a bit buggy, and so on. Each category will get a score between 1 and 3 points, and any tiebreakers here are determined solely by me, because this is my list. And so if you don't like it, you can take it up with the comments, which I'm actually looking forward to. Now, if this all sounds terribly unscientific and totally subjective, well, yeah, that's because it is. So if you want to, you can subscribe and stay tuned for Chantel's upcoming list. She's going to be taking a more hard numbers-based approach, and she'll have her own top 10 list of the most popular apps out there. I'm actually really interested to see how our lists stack up against each other, but let's dive into mine. Coming in at number 10 on my list is IMDb TV. IMDb TV is free, it's commercial supported, but it's got a library that, in my opinion, actually beats competitors like Tubi and Crackle. I love the library here on IMDb TV. There's not a ton else to say about it. Honestly, if you've ever used this or something like it, then you know about these free commercial supported apps. One thing I will mention is that this library often gets rolled into your Prime Video interface. So if you're ever scrolling through Prime Video, there is every chance that you will see the IMDb TV categories in there where it's actually pulling in this content. Next up at number 9 is Discovery Plus. When Discovery Plus came out a few months ago, I was frankly blown away. This isn't the kind of content that I typically watch, but I can recognize a quality app when I see it. I love that it's got a cohesive focus to the content, and that is unscripted TV. So whether it's food stuff or ghost stuff or house porn or whatever, all that unscripted stuff you used to love on cable, it's all here, and it's just $5 a month. So you get everything from Discovery Plus originals to HGTV, Food Network, and so on and so on. There is just a ton of great unscripted content here. And there's some scripted stuff as well, but that's the focus. Next up is the Roku Channel, coming in at number 8. This is a free app that beat out the paid app that I just talked about. The Roku Channel is the ultimate do-everything free service. It does a lot of what you would want from Tubi and Pluto and other free apps, plus it does more as well. So if we click into the Roku Channel, you'll see that it's got all of that free content that you're looking for, whether it's on demand or you can scroll down and check out their live content as well. They even have a live TV channel guide. Now, as with other free apps, the live TV content that you're getting is not going to be the same as what you got on cable. It's going to be slightly different, but that doesn't mean it's not awesome. And there's a ton for you to watch. And the last thing I'll mention about the Roku TV app is that it's not just on Roku anymore. I can watch this on my Fire Stick if I choose to, and hopefully it'll be on just about every app here coming up pretty soon. Coming in at number 7 is Peacock. Now, Peacock looks and smells and feels just like any other studio-specific paid app, like Paramount Plus or Discovery Plus that we just talked about. But this one has a free tier option, which frankly is something that I hope catches on. I hope this works out and they get the I hope they get the ad revenue and the viewership that they're hoping for, because I would love for more apps to have this free tier option. I do really like the library they've put together. It didn't blow my socks off, but I like that they make this available for you for free. Now, that free tier option isn't going to have everything, but they've got, I think, something like 2/3 of their library is available on that free tier, which is great. Number 6 is Hulu. Hulu is a classic. It's been around since close to the beginning of streaming content, and it does have some great content on here. Along with their great content, the navigation used to be terrible, but they did update that, so it is a lot more bearable now than it used to be. but honestly, there are some devices that Hulu is available on where that navigation is still pretty bad. But that being said, this one is nice in that you do have another tiered approach. So you can pay $6 a month for a commercial supported version or $12 a month for the commercial free version. You get that choice. Plus, it does come with the option for Hulu Live, which gets you cable channels for what I think is a pretty steep price. But, you know, if you love those channels, if you want the live sports or the news or whatever, then it may be worth it to you. Number 5 is Apple TV Plus. All right, this may be my most controversial choice for my top 10, but as far as I'm concerned, this one is just criminally underrated. The thing about it is, people are kind of underwhelmed with the amount of content on here, and I totally get that. But the thing is, they've got amazing content. What there is here, I think, is very well produced, really well written. It's just fantastic stuff. But if Apple maintains its pace of production for a few years, they could really fill this out. And Apple TV, as far as the subscriber base and people's enthusiasm about it, could become much bigger if they keep going. Simply on the strength of, like I said, the excellently produced content on here. For example, Mythic Quest had one of the best pandemic episodes of 2020, and Ted Lasso, frankly, is flat out one of the best shows of the last 20 years. And with the quality of this content that I'm talking about at $5 a month, as far as I'm concerned, that's a steal. And a lot of us are not paying anything for a while because of the deals that they've got going on. Number 4 is actually the granddaddy of them all, Netflix. I mean, it's Netflix. What is there to say? They've been around forever. They've got a huge content library. The only thing here is that they have been bleeding big name licensed content for years, as studios have stood up their own services and pulled their content over to those services. But Netflix has made up for it with hundreds, thousands of original titles, some of which are even good. I mean, I'm kidding, kind of. Netflix's strategy has been to create something for every niche, and whatever your niche is, you'll find lots of it here. The biggest drawback is that to pay for the breakneck production schedule, Netflix keeps raising their prices. Now, so far, it hasn't been enough to get many people to tap out. So they're still at over 200 million worldwide subscribers now. They're a behemoth. They're not going anywhere. But with that raising price, it does bring down the overall value of Netflix as far as I'm concerned when you're talking about price versus content. But in my opinion, it's still a must-have. All right, we're getting into our top 3 now. Number 3 is HBO Max. Yes, HBO Max beat Netflix. Now, speaking of high prices, I'll just say this right up front. This is the highest priced app on my list. But I'm not sure that people realize just how good the HBO Max library is. Plus, in 2021, with the simultaneous releases of Warner movies on HBO Max and in theaters, $15 a month here, if you're interested in any of these movies, kind of a no-brainer. I was talking to a friend of mine who was interested in watching the Snyder Cut, and he said, yeah, I'm just not sure if I'm not sure if I want to pay $15 for HBO Max. And I said, you know what? If you would pay $15 for a single ticket to go see a movie in a theater, you can pay $15 a month and get the movie plus the entire rest of the library from HBO Max. Again, in my mind, this is a no-brainer, much like Netflix. It is a little bit pricey. That's why it's not number 1. Number 2 is Prime Video. Now, this one surprised me, honestly, with how high its point total came in, but hey, there's no fighting the numbers, right? Now, this is always a tough one to talk about because when you sign up for Prime, it's a lot more than just a streaming service, right? You're getting the free shipping and whatnot. So $13 a month might seem high like Netflix or HBO Max, but when you factor everything else that you get with Prime, the value, it's tough to argue with. And if for some reason you did only want to go with the streaming service, you can get it alone for $9 a month. And considering the deep library and some of the massive upcoming titles on here, you know, you've got Lord of the Rings coming up, The Wheel of Time, Galaxy Quest, Event Horizon, they're making series out of all these. I'd say $9 seems like it's okay. And lastly, we have Disney Plus. Now, it's almost the complete package here in terms of entertainment. They've got everything on here. The only thing it's missing really is rated R content. And hey, we've got HBO Max for that, and pretty much everything else. But on Disney Plus, it's got so much else. It's got everything the kids could want. It's also got Marvel, it's got Star Wars, it's got Pixar, it's got just so much, and it's only $7 a month. So in terms of value, frankly, I'm neither surprised nor unhappy that Disney Plus came in first on this. Now, there are also some honorable mentions that I wanted to throw out there, things that just barely didn't quite make the cut into my top 10. PBS and PBS Kids is fantastic. Whether you have kids or not, the PBS app is really good. There's a ton of really engaging content for you as well as the kids on those apps. Next, it would be Paramount Plus, which again, just barely didn't make the cut. I just was really underwhelmed with the rollout when they switched from CBS All Access to Paramount Plus. CBS All Access, a couple of months ago, probably wouldn't have made my cut either, and now Paramount Plus doesn't. And the last one I'll mention is Crackle. If you're really into free content, then Crackle is, I think, edging out the other competitors in that category, except for IMDb TV and the Roku Channel, but it's better than Tubi. It's better than Pluto as far as I'm concerned. But again, that's just me. Those are all great apps too. But there you go. That is my top 10. Now, if you are to actually go out and get my entire top 10, it would cost you about $66 a month before tax. And that might be a bit steep depending on how much money you're looking to save with streaming. But I wasn't basing this list on cumulative pricing, and there are 3 free options in there. So the free options just generally didn't quite stack up in terms of content quality, but I guess you kind of get what you pay for most of the time. So there you go. I would love to hear you tell me how crazy I am. So hit the comments below, let me know. I'm happy to defend my choices here or hear what you think should have made the list. I'd love to hear it. So yeah, hit those comments on your way down there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.